Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Clearly Cloud official product launch. I am super pumped today, so excited for this launch. My name is Bre Fernie. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at ClearlyIP. I am joined today by Tony Lewis. He's our CEO, and I couldn't be happier. We've put so much work into Clearly Cloud, and I'm so glad to be able to share it with everyone today. And thank you, Tony, for being here. How are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Bre.
Good to hear. So I'm going to be your presenter today, and Tony is going to be running the live portion of the presentation. And we're going to then move into some Q&A. So let's jump in. So we're going to be covering a number of topics in today's webinar, but it really boils down to three elements. What exactly is Clearly Cloud? Why it's such a great tool for businesses? Pricing and how to get started. We'll have time for questions at the end of the presentation, so be sure to stick around. We always have some really great questions and topics come up. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel and on our website in just a few days. If you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you will be notified whenever a new video is posted. So, what is Clearly Cloud? I'm glad you asked. Clearly Cloud can be described as a unified communications as a service platform. That means that most of the hardware, other than the phones, is not taking up any room in your office. Clearly Cloud was created to offer functionality and dependability while being easy to use with an intuitive interface. Today's advertising often highlights items that are neat but rarely used. So ClearlyIP focused on a telecom solution that was fast to implement, offers the tools that are most important to businesses, and affordable. We feel that we've created a solution that businesses are going to love to use. So in focusing on the needs of small businesses, but really all sized organizations, ClearlyIP has created a product that offers practical and dependable features such as time-based call routing, auto-attendant IVR, enhanced E911, a web-based call panel, as well as the features and functionality you're already familiar with, like call parking, call forward, call history and reporting, conferencing, caller ID, inbound and outbound, music on hold, plus over 100 other features. Clearly Cloud offers a highly responsive interface to give you insight to the active calls on your system. We've spent a lot of time on it and we're pretty proud of this. Our call panel offers information about your phone system in an easy to navigate menu, information such as which callers are in a conference room, to who is waiting in a queue, and how long they've been waiting, so you can really keep your finger on the pulse. The call panel offers the features and functionality users need to conduct day-to-day business, and system administrators will be able to control what users have permissions and access to for improved visibility and management. And our main navigation bar across the top of the screen engages users with access to the call panel features all in one application. The system is web-based. When a user logs in, they are shown a screen with all current users on the system. The green dot represents a user who is signed in, while the gray circle shows they're not logged in. It will also show you the department, if they're on an active call, and to confirm, everything is permission-based. When you get into the Queues tab, it offers some quick stats across the top on everything the user is a member of. Depending on what queues I have permissions to, I can drill into those queues. So here, I can see, for example, the sales queue has one agent and the agent is paused. There are no other agents on a call and no calls currently in the queue. So clicking on the icon in the circle to the right of sales will show me all the details of that queue. So real-time queue management. Conferences will show a list of active conferences. Each user gets their own conference room. They can provide that number to invite people in and then manage the conference as well, allowing them to kick people off of the line as well as mute or unmute conference attendees. If there are general conference rooms on the system, you can give users permission to see those rooms too. In this example, we have sales and general conference rooms that can have individual permissions set. I have the ability to manage my voicemails in real time, listening to, forwarding, deleting, and even manage all of my recorded greetings, all right from the call panel. CDRs, or call detail records, show me all inbound and outbound calls from a user. If there are call recordings associated with those calls, I can download them and review them, again, all based on permissions. In our settings tab, I have access to set up call forwarding, follow me. I can turn on and off do not disturb and call waiting from here as well. Lastly, there is a phone portion. There's a thin soft phone, all web-based, just like the call panel is. You can manage multiple calls at a time, place calls on hold, transfer calls, conference calls, and even mute those calls. So ordering and firing up your Clearly Cloud system is super easy for customers and partners alike. Simply go to the ClearlyIP store and order a new Clearly Cloud location along with your phone numbers. Organize your devices and endpoints through the admin GUI, then go live. Voila, it is really that quick and simple. Clearly Cloud also includes a subscription to Clearly Anywhere Mobile built right in, so mobile users get access to Clearly Anywhere when you use Clearly Cloud. Clearly Anywhere is our mobile soft phone client for Android and iOS. A user can simply scan a QR code and the software will install on their mobile device. You can email the code, or when the user logs into their call panel, they can see it there as well. Clearly Cloud is an excellent investment for any size business, as it truly is a collaborative solution for every organization's voice communication needs, no matter whether it's big or small, enterprise level. Simple to set up from purchase to phone system in just a few minutes. It's affordable, offering features that generally cost much, much more. It has built-in redundancy, ensuring you're always connected with clients or coworkers. Call panel, which we just covered, professional service from a team of industry experts, and scalability. It can grow with your business. So let's talk a little bit about pricing and purchasing. So I'm pleased to share today that we have some very compelling product launch introductory promo pricing in line with the launch today. So valid from now through to the end of September, our promo pricing is currently around a 3-year subscription starting at $14.99 a user, and it actually gets lower from there. So this promo pricing makes it a super attractive solution for businesses to make that transition to Clearly Cloud, move to modern technology, web-based solution, and get a powerful system with 100+ features at industry low rates, starting at $14.99 a user seat, and it gets even more affordable from there, down to $10.99 a seat for our larger customers. So we offer Clearly Cloud in a multi-tiered pricing model, either month-to-month, no contract, or a 36-month contract. Both offer a very powerful platform at an extremely cost-effective price. We really wanted to outshine the competition in both features and pricing, and I feel we've done a good job at this. There are no expensive add-ons or any hidden fees, which is completely refreshing in this sector. The pricing platform for Clearly Cloud has been designed around this sliding scale model. So as your business expands, your pricing will decrease. So for example, if you're a small business with 10 users, your system would be priced at $14.99 a user on that 36-month term. But as your business grows, your next block of users will be priced on the tier up. So your 11th through 50th user will be priced at $13.99 a seat. This makes growing your business easy and motivates growth by way of reduced user pricing with expansion. Same applies if you're needing to reduce users. Your costs will never go up. A business won't drop down and have per seat, per user pricing go up when downsizing. So this system tier is designed to work with a business as it changes, because we all know every business changes and needs this flexibility. So another example for you, the old tier system that businesses used to use, 10 users at $14.99, and then that 11th user is basically free, so your bill doesn't go down. Instead of 10 users being $150, but if you had 11 users, you would save $1 when you reduce a user. So that old school tier system penalizes all the users. This has real incentives for you to grow, whereas that old platform, if you shrink back, you're penalized. So this price model keeps it fair and really assists business with a flexible platform. I love that our Clearly Cloud platform offers such great rates. I've heard excellent feedback from clients that really appreciate the overnight savings and return on investment from when they moved over to the platform. We do strive to deliver the latest technology, but at a cost savings. So when customers move to Clearly Cloud, you can decide whether to bring your own device or purchase leading edge IP desk phones from ClearlyIP. You can easily add our endpoints. Our SIP IP desk phone family can be added even at a monthly cost, device as a service. So you don't have to worry about a big capital investment on hardware if that's your structure you prefer. We really do offer all the options for phones that you might need. So you're going to want to check that out as well. Another way ClearlyIP sets itself apart from the competition is with our free trial program for 30 days. Try before you buy. I'm a big believer in this, and we are super confident that once you test run Clearly Cloud, you're going to see everything that it offers and that it meets all your needs. So to purchase, you can call or email sales, or you can access our self-service portal at cloud.clearlyip.com. This is where you can organize your phone numbers and your E911 dispatchable locations. You can be up and running in around 30 seconds, and I think that is pretty fantastic. It all sounds great, right? Okay, let's see this in action. Tony will now walk us through with the live demo, and then we're going to do a Q&A session. Tony, do you want to take over screen sharing?
Yep, give me 1 second here. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. You should be able to see my screen at this point. So we're going to show three parts of Clearly Cloud. We're going to spend a little time in the portal that you use, what we call the commercial side of the business, where you actually order Clearly Cloud and manage your subscriptions, like how many users you want and phone numbers you want and different things. And that's done in our normal cloud portal. For anyone that's used to like our trunking store, it's the exact same portal. And then there's the actual Clearly Cloud side of things, which is its own interface where you actually manage the phone system and end users can log in and use their call panel and different things. So we're going to quickly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in the portal side of things, but we're going to quickly bring up a new, what we call location, a Clearly Cloud location, just to show how quick this is. So once you have an account, which you can create if you don't have one at cloud.clearlyip.com, you would just come in to our portal and just add a new location. And instead of picking SIP trunking, we're going to pick Clearly Cloud. And then you get to pick between two different regions. We have servers, clustered servers in the US and in Canada. So if you're a Canadian customer and you want all your data staying in Canada, you can pick Canada. If you're US, you can pick US. So we'll go ahead and pick US. I'll add too, from a currency perspective, we handle both Canadian and US currency. It's all based on your billing address. So if you create your account with a Canadian billing address, it will automatically use Canadian currency. And if your billing address for your main account is US or anything else but Canada, it will use US dollar for currency. Then we pick our subscription type, as Bre talked about. So we can do a 12-month, a 36-month, or a month-to-month. So if we take month-to-month, we'll see one user. We're picking one user we want to buy is $24.99. If we drop this to a 36-month agreement where you agree to keep the users for 36 months, it drops to $14.99 a user. And then we actually, as Bre talked about, we get into sliding scale. So we're showing here the $14.99 for the first 10 users. So if I do 2 users, we'll see it's $29.98, $14.99 per user. But if I did 51 users, we'll see we fall into 3 tiers. So the first 10 users are at $14.99. The next 40 users actually work out to $13.99, and then the 51 through 100th user is $12.99. So you're not being penalized as your business, grows. You're saving money, And if you have to reduce, you're not being penalized where we're repricing all the other original users you had. And a lot of scenarios where, if you have 11 extensions, all 11 get a reduced price versus if you have 10. Well, if you actually do the math and try to go from 11 to 10, a lot of times it costs you more money, or it saves you $1 a month, which doesn't make a lot of sense to be penalizing people. So we try to come up with a tiered system that wouldn't penalize you if you do have to reduce. So we're going to go ahead and set this at 2 just for our testing. And we're going to go and leave this checked, this add location to Cloud Device Manager. So Cloud Device Manager is a provisioning tool. It's a cloud-based provisioning tool to let you provision and manage your actual physical endpoints. And it supports about 8 different manufacturers today. So of course, ClearlyIP phones and different phones from Astra and Mitel and Yealink and Grandstream and Fanville and Digium. So a bunch of different phones, well over 200 models are supported. And you get a free, if you want to use our provisioning tool, you get a free location added to that when you buy your Clearly Cloud system. So we're going to say, yeah, go ahead and give us our free location for managing devices. We'll hit next. We're going to give this a name and a description. And then this email address is actually the login for the PBX. So we can set something like webinar blah at ClearlyIP.com. And this email address will actually get an email saying, hey, we've created your Clearly Cloud account, and here's your password to log into Clearly Cloud, the actual phone system where an administrator would manage the setting up of the phone system. So you'll get an automated email with that, with how to log in. We provide our address for billing purposes, mainly for taxation purposes. We know where to tax, what jurisdiction. Then we can start buying phone numbers. So I'll pick Wisconsin, Appleton, and you just pick which numbers you want, and you'll see they get added to our cart, and we can add other rate centers. So now I've got 3 numbers. If I want toll-free, same thing, I can add toll-free numbers. Numbers are located in both Canada and US that you can buy right through the store, and if you're porting numbers, you can go ahead and once you've done the checkout process, you can go submit your port request to port your numbers in also. We'll go ahead and set up emergency services for 911. We're going to, you get 1 emergency location by default included. And if you need additional locations, if you have employees at other offices, you would pay per month for each of those locations. They're pretty reasonable. They're under $1 a month for each of those locations. But you get 1 free with your Clearly Cloud subscription. And then we get to pick which DID we want or phone number that we're buying that we want as the main caller ID for when we call 911. It's auto-filled in our address based on the location. You can change that if it's something different. Verify the address is correct with the 911 centers, so that will do a verification system, and it came back, it's all good, so we can hit next now. And pick our payment term. Normally you would have credit card here, and you would add your credit card on file. And agree to all the terms, and we're done. And it's actually going to go generate the invoice, charge your credit card, and bring up that client into the PBX. At this point, you would have got an email with your login into that PBX, and you're up and running. So this process here, this checkout takes 20 to 30 seconds. It's got to bring everything up, process credit card payments and invoices, and bring up the PBX and buy the phone numbers and set up all the 911. So it's almost done here. So at this point, we are done. And if we took that email we would have gotten and we go into our Clearly Cloud system, I'm going to drill in to a client. We'll actually see that we're already all set up. So at this point, I'm going to drill into a client I already have set up. And this is our phone system. So this is where we actually go manage the phone system. And of course, the ClearlyIP team's happy to help you on setup and configuration. And we have packages where we can do the whole thing for you if you'd like to pay us to do all your setup and configuration. Otherwise, we can help you and point you in the right direction and answer any questions you have free of charge through the support team. So from here, we can actually now manage our phone system. So we can set up all of our extensions and all of our routing logic and any queues and ring groups and call routing and IVRs, and all of that can be managed from here. So this is an existing system I have some fake users on. already set up so we can kind of show a little bit. We're not going to go in depth into the actual phone system settings. We're going to spend a little time in call panel to kind of show you, because in the end, the most common thing you use in a phone system is your end users, what they use, not the administration of the phone system. And we want to show off kind of what your end users will have access to with call panel. A couple things I do want to point out: all the phone numbers you buy are automatically pushed into your Clearly Cloud system. So under DIDs, we can see all of our phone numbers and set up our routing logic. And all of our 911 rules for if we had multiple dispatchable locations for different 911 locations are all automatically synced in here. So if we look under dispatchable location, we'll see we have 2 set. So these are set from the store. If we go into the store and buy more 911 locations, they're automatically pushed into your client PBX setup here, and same with phone numbers. You buy them from the store and they're automatically pushed. So let's talk about users for a minute. Users are your end users or extensions on the phone system. So here we have a bunch of test users set up. So a user is also an extension. And from here, every user has their own login to the phone system where they're allowed to do some basic things related to their user or extension. And as an admin of the PBX, I can spoof log in as any user. So if I highlight a user such as 1000, I can do connect as user. And from here, I see exactly what the user sees if they were to log in right now. So an end user logs in and they see this initial landing page showing them information about their user. Under call details, they can see all their inbound, outbound calls. Under voicemails, they can see all of their voicemails and listen to them, and they can change their voicemail settings. Under Clearly Anywhere, this is our mobile app integration. So you install our mobile app called Clearly Anywhere on Android or iOS, and then you just scan this QR code from your mobile phone, and it will auto-provision that mobile app as that user. And that's included with your subscription into Clearly Cloud. There's no extra fee for any of this stuff. If you don't have the ability to do a QR scan, you can push this little button here, and it will email you a nice little email with a link inside that from your mobile phone. You click on it, it will launch Clearly Anywhere and log you in automatically with everything. The big thing to really kind of focus on here is call panel. So this is more setting related stuff. Call panels are our live operator panel. So if I click on call panel, it's going to launch call panel and log me in. And I'll get the screen back to blank of what you would see on a brand new user. So as a brand new user, this is what I would see. And everything in call panel is permissionable. The other thing I'll add is where an end user can log in and see this page here and launch call panel, they can also just go to callpanel.w.clearlyip.cloud and log in with their username and password. The same username and password they would log into this client portal over here with. They're one and the same. So you don't have to go to the client portal to get to call panel. You can go direct to call panel. So everything in call panel is based on what permissions the admin has provided you, the admin of the PBX. So each user, you get to control permissions on what they can do. So I'm going to kind of show you what we have today for this user. But again, this user is set up with basically permissions to most things. So there isn't much restricted for this user we're logged in with. So the first thing we get is on the left here, we get a list of all the users we have access to view. And we can see if their extension is registered, if they're online. So that means they're either logged into call panel or they have a physical phone registered, or like Clearly Anywhere is registered, some device is registered. So we can see 1000 is registered, it's green, and 1004 is registered. The rest don't have a phone registered at this time. So we can, at a glance, see all of our users we have permissions to, and then we can start adding them to our dashboard. So we can pick which users we want showing up all the time in the middle of our dashboard. So from here, I can see the users and I can see if they're online. I can, based on permissions again, I can actually see how many voicemails they have, unread voicemails, and it's all permissionable. If they're on an active call, I can see that they're on an active call. So kind of like a BLF button on your phone, a busy lamp field, it'll show they're on a call. And optionally, I can also have it show me who they're talking to, the caller ID, who they're talking with. So again, based on permissions, I can see if they're on a call and who they're talking with. And based on permissions, I could even click the little headset icon here if they're on an active call and barge in and listen on that call. If I want to call the user, I can just press the little call user button and it will just call them. If I no longer want 1001 in my main dashboard, I can either come over here and toggle it off, or I can do it right from here by clicking this little icon and toggle them back over, and then I can bring them back. So that's our users tab. The other thing I'd point out is we do support both English and French for translations, so the UI itself is available in English and French. Queues will show us information about queues on the system that we have permissions to again. So I can see my user has access to the sales and support queue. Let's say I didn't want to see the support queue here, but I have permissions to it. Again, I can click over here and I can start picking which queue widgets I want inside the main dashboard. And once I have permissions to a queue, I can also click here and I can see agent and call status for that queue. So by clicking the little icon here, the little circle, it brings up the sales queue over here. And again, based on permissions, I can even have the ability to pause and unpause other agents. So there I just paused Sean, a different user, because I have permissions for that. I can unpause them. And even when I pause them, I can optionally set a cause code. So yourself, if you're pausing yourself, or when I pause someone else, I can say I want to set a pause event, and I can pick from what the admin has set up as available pause codes on the phone system. So I can say I'm paused because I'm in a meeting. And now everyone will see that Sean's in a meeting. And then calls will show me all the active calls that are waiting in that queue, the call ID and how long they've been waiting for in the queue. And it'll show you what position they're in. Conferences. So every user of the phone system by default can have their own personal conference room, audio conference room. So at the top, I can see my personal conference room. And if I want to call into it or have other people call into it from the phone system, they can dial *99 1000. So everyone's personal conference room is *99 plus their extension number. So from here, I can see it's got a capacity of 15 members and I have a user pin set of 1000. I also have access to other conference rooms I've been given permission to. So I've got access to a general conference room and a sales conference room. And just like queues, I can pick which ones I want to see. So once somebody's given me permission for it, I can choose if I want it in my dashboard or not. And then based on permissions, I can call the queue by clicking this button. I can invite other people by clicking this button and putting in a phone number. And if we call a queue, so we can also just, or a conference room, we can just call a conference room.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
And once we have one or more people in a conference room, this little circle becomes a dark gray versus the light gray. And if you hover over it, it'll show the conference members. If I click on this, it'll slide over and show me all the people in the conference room with the caller ID information, and I can mute them. So if I hit mute, now it'll show they're muted, and I can kick them out of the conference room.
You have been kicked from this conference.
So some basic management of my conference room, and especially important in the day and age where somebody's got a bunch of background noise and you need to mute someone, you have full control over that mute and unmute capabilities. Voicemails. So depending what permissions I have, I can view my voicemail and even other users' voicemails. And from here, I can see the voicemails that are on the extension and I can listen to them.
Hi, this is United Healthcare calling for.
I can delete the voicemail. I can mark it as read or unread. So right now it's old, meaning I've read this voicemail. If I click this, it'll put it as inbox and I'll see I have one new voicemail. If I did the same for the other one, it'll show I have two voicemails now. That's your little message waiting indicator up there. If they're all listened to, then the little MWI icon goes away. And I can forward this to any other user. So I could type in either their name or their extension number. I can change my voicemail settings over here. So like what email address I want my voicemails going to and different settings related to my voicemail. And then I can manage my greetings. So from here, I can listen to my name greeting, my busy message, and my unavailable. So if I hit the play button, I could upload a new message. So if I had a recorded message I wanted to upload as my voicemail greeting, I can upload it. Or I can hit the record button, hit record. This is Tony's unavailable message. I'm not here right now. Leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hit stop and save. And now it's updated that unavailable greeting. The other neat thing we do is the ability to reset, which means remove the greeting. So if I hit reset, I can even archive it. So I can archive it and call this main unavailable and hit reset. So what happens now is it deletes that message, but it archived a copy of what I had recorded. And now I could record a new message. This is Tony. I'm on vacation until June 18th. I'll return your call when I get back from vacation. And now I've set my vacation greeting. And when I come back from vacation and I want to go back to my main greeting, I can just hit record, restore from archive, pick that one I archived earlier and restore. And now I'm back to my main greeting without having to re-record it. CDRs will show us all of our inbound, outbound calls. And again, based on permissions, you might even be able to look at other users' CDRs. So right here, we see my CDRs, my call detail records, and I can even see other users' call detail records based on permissions. And then last, we get into settings. So from here, I can turn on and off do not disturb. Same with call waiting. Again, everything's permissionable. Call forwarding and set what call forward number I want, or even follow me and set different follow me rules. So I could add a phone number and I could add a second number. So now I've got two numbers into my follow me, and I'm saying ring my primary phone for 5 seconds, then start ringing all the numbers below for 20 seconds. Save those changes, and now I have a follow me set up. And it's enabled, or I can disable it. If I bring it back, it remembers all my settings from before when I toggle it on and off. Emergency settings. So again, based on permissions, because I'm a user that might roam around to different offices, I've been exposed the ability to change what my current 911 location is. So right now I'm on the second floor of the Appleton office. If today I'm somewhere else, I can go set it to something else and notice the address updates. So right now, ClearlyIP is 3255. If I do second floor, we'll see it's kind of really the same address, but for my testing, but normally the address would show something different. You'll notice the name changes. So again, based on permissions, I can change where I'm at any time for 911. And then I get my media devices for that built-in soft phones. I can pick what my input and output is. So I can set my headset here for input, and I can set my headset for output. And then I can set where I want ringing. So if I receive an inbound call, I may want that to ring on my speakers, not my headset. And that kind of controls the drivers related to the built-in soft phone, which is up here, the little green icon. If we click on this, we can just start dialing any phone number we want. So I'll dial Echo Test. And we can see we have an active call up here. From here, we can mute it, unmute, hold, unhold. We can do a transfer, and we can pick blind or attended, or we can even do a three-way conference call. If we have permissions, we can start recording the call, which I don't have permissions for. And then we can put the call on hold, for example. So I'm going to take it back off hold. So I'm on an active call, and if I hit the on-call button up here, I can dial second person, and the first call will get put on hold. So now that call got put on hold, and it called the next one. And I can do it again. I can manage up to 4 separate calls here at a time. So you've got your built-in soft phone built right into this interface. And this soft phone is the same as your desk phone. So this will ring anytime your desk phone rings, which will ring anytime. Will also ring your Clearly Anywhere mobile app at the same time. So technically, you can have it ring all 3 places at once. Okay, that was a lot, Bre.
Yeah, it was awesome though. I don't know if everyone believed me when I said you could turn this up in 30 seconds.
Yes, we're very proud of that.
Awesome. Well, should we move into Q&A then, Tony?
Yeah, so let me get that brought up. we're asking the pricing you're quoting per user, is that US or Canadian? So the pricing Bre was showing would have been the US dollars. Canadian has different pricing, it handles some of the conversion, but it's locked in. If you go to the store, you can see it. Otherwise, if you have an account manager, they can talk to you about it too. I don't have it off the top of my head, but there's complete Canadian pricing too. The pricing Bre was showing was all the US dollars. Get asked, so Clearly Anywhere desktop is not needed because there's call panel. That's correct. So Clearly Desktop is a desktop native app that we don't use with Clearly Cloud. It's for a different product. With Clearly Cloud, everything's built right into call panel. The user update their 901 settings right from the portal, or is that something that has to be done by the administrator? For example, if a staff member is working at the office one day and they take their phone home. Yep, so that's what we showed here inside a call panel. So you would give them permission and you would add their location ahead of time, because you got the dispatchable location for 911 has to be created ahead of time, because it's got to do verification. You can't just let somebody on demand add an address. So you as an admin would add it through our portal. You'd go buy that location. So under the location, if we go look at, I've got a demo one here somewhere. Well, we'll just take this one. From here, we can just add dispatchable locations, which are our 911 locations. So you add a new one, pick what location it's for, that webinar test, and now we can just start adding them. So you'd provide, you don't need a different callback number or anything. You just give a name and description. Leave this 6-digit caller ID alone. If you change it, no big deal. But this is the identifier we use to know what location they're at. And then just provide all their address information and go through the process. And now that will show up in Clearly Cloud automatically. And then that user could have permissions to go change to that address on demand. So that's kind of the nice thing about the call panels. You have all that ability right inside a call panel to manage it. Let's see here, being asked. Oh, no, that's all. So that's the 3 questions so far. Let's give it a minute. I'm sure there'll be a few more.
I'm going to take over screen sharing, Tony, and just fill everyone in on some further resources that we have available. We've got an awesome case study that we've written based on a partner that is utilizing Clearly Cloud in their business, JSA Consultants. So I highly encourage everyone to check it out under our success stories on our website. We've also published a blog and a press release today in line with our Clearly Cloud launch. We're going to be sharing that through an email tomorrow as well. So look out for that. They're great reads showcasing and highlighting different features and various things that hopefully we touched on today. And I'm not sure if you have any other questions, Tony, but while we wrap up, I want to mention we have some other upcoming events. Next week is a showcase on our IP desk phones. So if Clearly Cloud has got your attention and you're thinking of some new phones, this is a great webinar to come and check out. It's next Thursday, June 10th. It'll be myself and Tony again. And the cool thing about our phones is that you can customize them with your own logo and brand. So whether you're a partner or customer and wanting that branding on the phones, this is a really great event to sign up and attend, and you'll learn everything you need to know about our lineup of phones. And speaking of product launches, we have yet another new product launch coming up in a couple weeks. It's on a new fax appliance that's complementary to our SendFax.2 platform. We did mention it last week in our virtual fax webinar, so you can sign up on our website under events. That is happening on June 17th. Of course, our partner pre-launch is going to be a couple days prior to that for an inside advance look.
Okay, we got a few questions, Bre.
Awesome.
What kind of headset is required? So any headset that's on your computer, because this is just in your web browser, anything your web browser has access to, which should be anything installed in your computer, so that should be Bluetooth headsets or USB headsets, would work as long as they show up as a headset on your computer. All we're doing is pulling the devices that are showing up as media devices from the computer. Do I need to purchase the Clearly Anywhere mobile app, or is this included? Again, so Clearly Anywhere is included with Clearly Cloud. You get free Clearly Anywhere mobile for all of your users. What about support? Is that included in the monthly service? Is this free or billable? So support for anything general you want, hey, I'm stuck setting up a user. How do I set this call flow up? All that is 100% included with your subscription, whether it's month to month or 12 or 36 month. The only thing really not included is if you want us to do the full onboarding, meaning you want us to do the full configuration of your phone system, set up everything, and take lead on the whole configuration. That's not something we include. That's where we really send you off to one of our partners who will get involved and work with you. They kind of specialize in the onboarding and programming of the phone system and helping you on the install and configuring of your phones. So if you're an end user and you're looking for more of that turnkey white glove, that's where we will get one of our partners involved to work with you on it. That is it so far, Bre.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tony. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I really was super pumped today to share Clearly Cloud with you all. I hope that we see some people reaching out for free trials. If you have any questions, you can contact myself, Tony, sales. It's always our pleasure to help you all. Wishing you all a wonderful day. Thank you again, Tony.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.